Welcome to my channel GenAI Tech, and in this channel we will be learning majorly about the generative AI. What is generative AI, starting from beginning to the end. So stay connected with me on this channel so that I will be telling you about that how and what are the different technologies, what are the things that you need in order to learn the GenAI. So all the things will be covered in this channel. So let's start. So starting from the introduction to the GenAI, introduction to GenAI. So now this is the buzzword and everyone is talking about the GenAI, artificial intelligence. So what exactly is this? What is all about? So generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that focus on creating new content. Okay, so it's a subset of machine learning, drawing from techniques like deep learning and reinforcement learning to generate output that can include text, images, music, video, and more. So this is about the generative AI. So if I note down the main points which I just spoken. So first one, it focus on creating new content. Second, it is subset of machine learning, which drawing from the technique like deep learning and reinforcement learning to generate the output that can include the text, images, video, and more. Now, if we talk about what are the different use cases of GenAI, right? This is most important. That if we are learning something, then we should know that where exactly this technology will be using. So, generative AI use case. If I type here generative AI use case. So, generative AI use case, as per the name suggest, or as I explained you, that it is used for creating a content. So the first one is for the visual content. So I can type it as a visual content. Second, it is the another use case is the for audio generation. And the third one is for the text generation. Okay, and the fourth one is for code generation, which will help for the developers, code generation. Now, if I talk about one by one in the visual content. So, as per the name suggests, the visual, when it talks about the visual, like the image enhancement, video prediction, 3D shape generation. So, these are the part of the video content. Now, if I talk about for the audio generation use cases, it helps in music composing, TTS generator, STS conversion. So, if I talk about TTS, so that is text to speech generator, and another one STS conversion, that is from speech to speech conversion, right? So this is really a very powerful language and the powerful technology that we are learning, that the generative AI in this era. The next one is for the text generation. The text generation which having the use cases of creative writing, used in chatbots, used in translation. And if I talk finally for the code generation, so that is used for generating the code, which will really helpful for the developer, code compilation and bug fixes. So these are some of the important GenAI use cases which will help each and every field or each and everyone so that they can take out something new from out of it. Now the question arises that why should you take up this generative AI, right? So we will be looking out the entire the era, that how it is changing. So if I scroll down, so if I see that since when it was started, right? In 1990s, if I talk about for the 1990s, right? So no one heard about that this kind of technology will come. But during that time, we were learning about C, C++, Java, right? These were the technologies that are in demand. Now, if we see that after the next 10 years, that how the technology changed, we see in the 2000. So in the 2000, the major technology that coming into the picture is the web development with Java. Then another one is for the Python. Then mobile development with Android. Then the another one did major development in Java and Swift and iOS operating system. So these are the things that we learned majorly in the era of 2000. But as the time passes by, right? So as we reach to in the next 10 year, if we see 2010. So in the 2010, we majorly focused on big data, data science, machine learning, DDNN, design data, neural networks. Right. Now, if we talk about for the next 10 year, that is in the 2020. So this 2020 is the era of generative AI. Generative AI. So in the generative, so if you see that in every 10 year, everyone in every decade, some of the new and the big opportunities coming for the everyone for the career. It's like a biggest career opportunity for professionals that came in very long time. Okay, so out of this, if I compare like 1990s, 2000, 2010, 2020. So generative AI in itself, it's a very biggest career opportunity for professionals, right? That came along with after very a long time. Now there are the different ways of looking at artificial intelligence and generative AI. So if we talk about the different ways, so if I let's say if I scroll down and if I write like here different ways of looking at AI and Gen AI. So the first one is the traditional AI. Traditional AI. So the traditional AI, we used to learn about classification, we used to learn about regression, we used to learn about clustering. So these were the technology that we used to learn in the traditional AI. Right, but once we talk about for the modern AI, AI and ML. So during this time, we used to learn about the deep learning and neural network. Okay, so these are the things that we learn in the AI and ML. And in addition to this, we learn about the reinforcement learning and genetic algorithm. Right. So these are the things we used to learn in the modern AI. Now, if we talk about for the generative AI, right. So generative AI, it majorly focus on the LLM. LLM are the large language model. So we will be discussing this the LLM in the generative AI in more descriptive way in the upcoming sessions. So then it came the discriminative native AI. Then the next one is the generative AI. Okay, so these are the terms that we see and how we look different ways of looking at the AI and the Gen AI. Another term that we will be looking forward is the broad AI, and the another one that we'll be looking for the narrow AI. Okay, so these are the different different ways of looking the AI and Gen AI. Now let's move forward. Let's think about more about the generative AI, right? And how it really helping each and every one in order to gain the technology, in order to understand the technology. So how the generative AI works? So generative AI enables user to quickly generate new content based on a variety of inputs. Now the inputs and the outputs to these models can include text, images, sound, animation, 3D models or other type of data. So if we see here what is generative AI and what we just learned about what is Gen AI. So it's all about for generating new content and content related to text, images, sounds, animation, 3D models, okay, and other type of data. Now Gen AI is a combination of many parallel technology and research. Now the question comes, how does the generative AI work? So generative AI model uses, so how Gen AI works? So generative AI model, it uses deep learning that is based on neural network to identify the patterns and structures within existing data to generate new and the original content, right? So base is the deep learning and the neural network, which we extensively learn in the machine learning. Now the second one is the popular application like Chat GPT. So nowadays everyone has heard about the Chat GPT. This is the buzzword, Chat GPT. That using a model like using model like GPT-3. These are the LLM, GPT-4, right? That is actually in the market where the user can use. These allow user to generate an essay based on a short text request. Stable diffusion allows user to generate photorealistic images given in a text input. Okay, so this is how the generative AI works. Now, if the question comes that what are the technologies, right? What are the different technologies, GenAI technologies? If I talk about the GenAI technology. Okay, so what are the different GenAI technologies that we will be learning in the upcoming session? So, in which it comes the foundation models, then second vector databases. The third one which we'll be learning about word and document embedding. So let me just scroll down it a bit. So we'll be learning about word and document embedding. Then fourth we'll be learning about the semantic and context search. Then fifth we'll be learning about the RAG, right? What is the RAG? RAG is the retrieval augmented generation. Okay, we will look deeply into these all technologies. Then we will be learning about the multimodal LLM. Then we will be learning about the transformers and neural network through deep learning. Okay, then we will be learning about the LangChain and other important frameworks. Okay, then we will be learning more about that how we can use the using paid and open source APIs. Okay, so these are the different technologies that we will be learning about, and you will see in the upcoming session that how you are going in depth about the generative AI technology and how you are embracing the things. So this will really help in order to learn the generative AI, the things that we will be covering. Now, if I talk in the general word that what is difference between the traditional AI and the Gen AI, traditional AI versus Gen AI, right? So everyone is talking about that what new, what something different between the in the Gen AI, right? So why we learn the Gen AI? So in the traditional AI, you used to learn about classification that is for classifying the things whether it is true or false. Then regression, so regression which is used to you learn in terms of the count, right? Then clustering. So if we have groups, then based on this how you can do the clustering. Then recommendation, right? So what are the different recommendations that we following in the traditional AI? Then fifth one is the association rule mining. Okay, then sixth one is the time series analysis, and the seventh one is the outlier detection. The eighth one is the ranking. Okay, so these are the things that usually covered in the traditional AI. Now, if I talk about the generative AI, right, that how the generative AI makes it different. So, generative harness the large LLM to generate new content or response based on the text prompts. So, based on text prompts, so we'll be learning more deep about the prompt engineering, right? So, based on the text prompts, generating new content. Okay, it offering a broader and more generated approach. Okay, the second one is it is particularly useful for internal use case like content generation and data summarization. Another one is creation of voice, audio, video, and synthetic data. So these are the basic difference between the traditional AI and the generative AI. So hope guys this is really helpful, and this will really clearing your thoughts about the traditional AI and the generative AI and how the generative AI is coming into the picture, and what are the different technologies that we will be learning in the generative AI, right? So we looked into the different models that we will be learning in the generative AI. Now, next, the things that come into the mind, that is, what are the benefits, right? Benefits of Gen AI to software developers, right? How the Gen AI is helping to the software developers. So traditional AI involved the study of the lot of math, right? We used to study a lot of math, specifically stats, linear algebra, numbers. But Gen AI you can directly start, right? It takes time to master the concept, framework and API. Gen AI can discriminate as well as generate new things. So if you have a good understanding of basic programming and a few creative ideas, then generative AI is for you. You are also able to enable Gen AI into your application code if you are an application developer in any domain. Right, you don't need to learn any new cloud or any other technology. So this is the best part, right? You are focused. You are focused upon the generative AI and its technology. So in the market, if you see, there are a lot of things are coming, a lot of technologies are coming. The different clouds are coming, like private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, right? DevOps. In the DevOps, we have the multiple of number of tools are there, right? So, but in the generative AI, you have a certain thing that you need to focus on. You prepare, you work on the LLMs, you generate the new content, generate the new images, right? You authenticate the data. So these are the things which majorly attracts the new professionals towards the generative AI. Some even say the Gen AI is commoditizing the AI tech itself. But yes, so these are the things that actually helping the software developers. Now, what are the actual benefits of Gen AI to the IT industry? What could be the benefit, right? And this will help the new opportunities. So if I write the benefits of Gen AI to IT industry, right? So first one is opportunity and new business, new opportunities and new business. So this is the new business that is coming. Everyone is looking about the Gen AI, that how they can embrace this technology as soon as possible. So growth of the IT industry again, right? More jobs and more development. But everyone has to embrace this, because as you see that we saw about how the trends in every decade the technology is changing. So everyone has to grab this the new opportunity to move ahead and to move with the industry. So if Gen AI develops, every other sector is seeing growth as well, right? New opportunities in multimedia because of the multimodal LLM. So the profession, and so how it is helpful for the professionals. So let me just write. So professionals, how it is helpful for the professionals. First, who are good in programming. Second, professional who have a good domain knowledge. Right, good domain knowledge, so that they have knowledge of their own sector. They can more work on it. They can, bring a lot of new ideas, creative ideas of their domain, and can you create the based on the LLMs, and can use this generative AI more in their, how can they reduce their work, right? So engineers who are creatives, and can leverage the power of AI into their application code, right? The fourth one is the people who show creativity and embrace AI at work. People who show creativity and embrace AI at work. So the fifth one is professional who are aware of DD, NN, CV, NLP, and math. If you know the math, then can go deeper into this technology. Okay. So professional who are ready to study something new, right? Take a quick step, move ahead, and people who are inclusive and curious, eager to learn about something new, right? So the people who have these professionals who have this kind of these skills, kind of the creative and thoughts, ideas, so then definitely they can boom in the generative AI world. Now the next the thing, if we talk now, let's go a bit deeper inside this, and we see the overview of the generative AI, how it looks from inside, how GenAI looks from inside. Okay, so how it works. So initially, if we see that that there is the transformers and self attention. Then we have the neural networks and deep learning and RL, reinforcement learning. Okay, then on top of it, we have the large language models, LLMs, right? On top of it, we have the AI chatbots, and finally we have the generative AI. Right, so this is how the generative AI, the entire framework is. So if I enclose this in a box, so this is the first is the transformer self-attention, then we have the neural networks, deep learning and reinforcement learning, then we have the LLM, large language model, then we have the AI chatbots, and on top of it we have the generative AI. Right, so this is how the generative AI looks. Now everyone is talking about that the LLM, right? So what is LLM? So if we go down and see that what is LLM, so LLM is something, the large language model. Okay, so what is actually the LLM is? So LLM is, it is a, so why we talk large? So large refers to the number of the value parameters, right? The language model can change autonomously, right, as it learns. Some of the most successful LLM have hundred of billions of parameters, right? So LLM, so if we talk about for the LLM, so it is a type of machine learning that applies neural networks techniques with lot of parameters and can perform a variety of NLPs, natural language processing tasks, such as generating and classifying text, answering question in a conversational manner, and translating text from one language to the another. So this is how the LLM it works. Now another term is that we use as a multimodal LLM, right? So what is the multimodal LLM? That can handle text, audio, image. Okay, so the image, video. So these are the terms that defines the LLM as well as the multimodal LLM. Now, if we move forward, right, so what we see, what are the different examples for LLM? Examples of LLM. So, the first example is BERT, the second example is GPT, okay. So, these are the different examples which we will be learning in deep. Another example is, we have the Plant T5. Another example is Llama. Then another example is Palm, and the last one is Bloom. So we do have the other examples as well, but I took only the specific example with respect to the what are the majorly used in the today's time. Okay. Now let's see some of the what are the the abbreviations. So what if we say like the BERT. Right, so BERT is the bidirectional encoder. So bidirectional encoder which encoders representations from transformers. Okay, now the next thing if we see what is the full form of Chat GPT. So it's the generative pre-trained transformer model, pre-trained transformers. Okay, the next one is FLANT. So this is the fine tuned language net. Okay, the next one is the Llama. So Llama is the large language model, meta AI. The next one is the Palm, that is the path language model. Okay, the next one is the Bloom. So Bloom, it is an acronym for the big science. Let me just scroll down. Big science, large, open, access, multilingual language model. Okay, so these are the some of the abbreviations for the LLM that we seen. Example of LLM we seen. So you can go through this. So this is it for today, and if I review this, we have learned a lot of things today. starting from introduction to GenAI. So if I summarize it, introduction to GenAI we have covered, creating how the GenAI, what are the different use cases of the generative AI we seen. Then we see that how in every decade the technology is changing, what are the different ways of looking the at the AI and the Gen AI. We seen the what is Gen AI, right? We seen the Gen AI technologies, right? Then we seen the difference between the traditional AI and the Gen AI, right? We seen about the benefits of the Gen AI to the software developer, how it is helping to the software developer, what are the benefits of Gen AI to the IT industry. So these are the things that we learned. Then we learned that how Gen AI looks from inside, right? We learned about the LLM, we learned about the multimodal LLM, right? And finally we learned about the example of LLM. Okay, so this is it. So thanks friends for joining with me, and hopefully this the entire series will help you in gaining the generative AI knowledge, deep knowledge, and we will go in the further session and we'll cover more such topic, in-depth topic, and you will become the master in the Gen AI, I assure, because we'll be covering the Python also inside the generative AI, and what are the different tools and technologies that we use in the generative AI, and how you can use this technology in your day-to-day work. Okay, so thank you so much. Thanks a lot for joining this session. And so I would say that just subscribe this channel and like this video if you like it, and share your suggestions so that we can add some more content.